Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new night point of view review. In front of us is the Renault Megane Conquest. It's known in the rest of the world under name Arkana. So what do we have here? We have the E-Tech, this is the hybrid, and we have a 1.6 liter petrol engine, 4-cylinder inline turbocharged with 94 horsepower, and we have extra two electric motors. One has 20 horsepower, other one has 49 horsepower. So it's a technology from Formula F1 that's in the new Arkana or Megane Conquest, whatever you call it in your country. This is a front-wheel drive, and now if I approach the car, it registers the key in my hand. It usually unlocks. You can see the lights turn on or off, but as soon as I leave, the car locks. So let me use the remote and turn on the LED headlights. Very good performance, they look gorgeous. If we come to the side, you can see the profile of the car. We're sitting on 18-inch alloys, winter tires, quite comfortable. I love the silhouette. The front and the rear headlights and taillights look like Megane, so I think the Megane Conquest suits this car better than the Arkana. So if we turn it on, you can see the signature. I love it. Let's open the cargo space. So we have 480 liters of cargo space, well illuminated, and you get 1,263 something like that when you knock down the seats. This is flat, and there's extra space underneath. You can see it because this light is being covered by the shelf. Let's close it up. And we have this also interesting, really bright orange color. Some people are going to love that. It's a matter of taste. And this is the RS line. Let's jump inside. The roof is just black. It's not a panoramic roof. So we're greeted by really nice ambient lights. You also have this greeting sound. You can turn it on or off. You can put your key here. It doesn't look like a key, but it is a key. Keyless entry. Okay, safety first, seatbelt on. Okay, let's turn on the electronics first. Now I'm going to demonstrate some music for you. I can't play it for too long, not to get a copyright strike, so I have to mute the music. We have Bose speakers. Let me just share some light inside. You can't see the badge, but I would say the sound is okay, but the more I listen to sounds or premium speakers inside the cars, I get to notice the details. So this, I would say, maybe it's not that good, and it's not worth the money. I mean, it's a famous badge, Bose, but just, I don't know, the sound quality isn't that great, if you ask me. I'm being 100% honest here. Okay, so I've explained what we have under the bonnet. Let's start the car. Brake on. You can see beautiful LED headlights. Now, we're gonna put it to drive. But I've switched it to B mode, which is recuperation. Now if you're in a D mode, car is going to recuperate just a little bit, but if you're in a B mode, it's going to recuperate a lot, and in that case you can use or you can, drive with like one pedal, because the car really recuperates a lot, so it's sort of like a brake. You can hear the petrol engine turning on, and it switches off. On the right side, the blue bottom here, that's your battery, and then it kind of, if you're stationary, turns on just to recharge it, then turns off. You also recharge it with a petrol engine and with the recuperation or the friction of the brakes. Let's head out. Now we're driving electric, and if I lower the window, listen to this. So there's like this electric sound that's projected through the speaker. and it's supposed to warn pedestrians. Now, some people might like this. I personally don't. This switches off once you speed up, but I get it, it's a matter of safety, of course. But I just prefer driving electric in silence. That's one of the benefits. Okay, this particular car has few options, like the driving assistant and a backing camera, and something about the cosmetic package I forgot the name of, and it costs almost 32,000 euros, which is a quite good price. You get a lot of standard equipment, and this is a very well packed model. Now, yeah, let's get to the driving experience, and then I'll comment a little bit about the other stuff that I think I should mention. So, drivability. The car is, at first, let's mention the suspension, quite comfortable over the speed bumps, the potholes, manholes, all the road bumps, uneven parts. It's quite okay in, dampening those things, and, despite sitting on 18-inch alloys, it's quite comfortable. Handling, it's quite stable. I didn't manage to be so aggressive that the back end will stick out because it's a front wheel drive, but the handling feels good. There's not too much body leaning, but overall, the car feels very stable on the road. You really have to be super aggressive and dumb to lose control, but in that case, even then the electronics kick in to put you back on a straight path. Steering is kind of light, but once you go to my sense here, there is sport mode, and in that case it gives you more feedback if you're in a sport. Automatic. I forgot, actually, to be honest, I haven't found how many gears does this automatic have. Despite having electric motor, when you have a petrol, it has to have gears, but I am assuming it's something around like 6 or 7 gears. I really forgot from the top of my head. I'll have to apologize for that one. But the petrol engine, or let's say the system power of 145 horsepower, 43, whatever, it has enough power for this kind of car and for this size. But you have a benefit, because this is a electric car, half, and then petrol car half. So as a hybrid, you don't have to worry about the battery. It's always being charged by the system, so you don't need to worry about your driving. You just drive it like a normal car. At the moment, you can see here a little bubble on the right. There's a blue icon. It means it's using the battery to power the wheels. And when I'm coasting easily, the petrol engine is off. You can also see the consumption is 0. Now when I let it go, you can see recuperation. It's charging the battery. And the benefit is when you punch it, it uses the electric motor, then it kicks in the petrol motor, and you can speed up fast. But now when you listen to my next words, have in mind I drive a Tesla now, so I'm kind of used to fully electric and no sounds. I do drive and review internal combustion cars, but just still, I'm not sure if it's because I'm used to electric cars, but I think it might not be. Really, that's not the case. I have a feeling that this petrol engine is a little bit noisy. Maybe when it gets warmed up, it's not so noisy, and then it kind of decides it wants to shift up a little bit late, so it stays in a high revs, and it's just a little bit noisy for my personal taste. but it just might be me. Now, if you want to use the auto hold, which is here, you have to really press in the brake until you see in the right corner a little like circled A symbol, which means auto hold. And now you can, leave your foot. It's just really important when you have automatic, so you're not, keeping your foot on the brake. That's the part I really like. Now, back to the engine. Again, enough horsepower for this size of a vehicle. So this is like crossover, not a real heavy SUV. So everything close to like between 130, 150 should be okay for like this kind of segment of cars. Brakes, I haven't honestly thought of the brakes. I think they're not super aggressive from the start, like the German brands. It's just, I would say standard. They're not late, but it's a standard. Starts braking once you start pressing it a little bit inside. It's not like from the top very aggressive. Some people like that, some people prefer more aggressive, and so on. So I think it's just in the middle. Now also when you're like recuperating, when you're not recuperating, it's a little bit less sound, but you can always hear this like electrical sounds. So I don't know, it's completely different experience if you're into this. Now if you want to coast, there's always that option, and that's what I love about having a recuperation mode, because you can use the recuperation when you want to brake, or you can just pull towards yourself. You switch to drive normally, so you can just, if you want to go through a bend and just use the inertia, you can just slide through it. But if you want to slow down, but you don't want to use your brakes all the way, you can just like slow down with the recuperation, which is excellent. Okay, so we'll go to the highway soon. So we're gonna punch a little bit to 150. Now, if you go to My Sense and you go to Echo, besides getting a different cockpit in front of you and the ambient lights in the interior go green, the petrol engine feels a little bit more or less powerful. It's like a little bit nimble, but it gives you enough power for gentle cruising through the traffic, and it saves you some fuel. Now, by the way, I was driving a car today a little bit, and I was really trying to see what's the fuel consumption. So when I got the car, and have in mind this is a press car with over 32, almost 33,000 kilometers on the clock. People drive it fast. People drive it in the city, and usually these cars have a high consumption. But in this case, I've got it with a 5.5 liters of average consumption, and I was driving the car a bit, my standard consumption test around the city between like 70 and 80. Went on the highway, drive 130, and the consumption was the same, 5.5 liters in average. Now on the highway it was on 130 around 7 liters. But considering this is a petrol engine, I think this is quite decent consumption. And again, what's great about this car is you can drive nicely if you're not flooring it from the traffic light to traffic light. You can really have, if you're driving gentle, a good power consumption, because the petrol engine just switches off and then it uses the battery. So the battery is 1.2 kilowatt hours, so it's a small battery, but just enough to let you keep enough power inside to just drive smoothly when you're coasting, so you're not using the petrol engine and you're saving fuel. So Renault was saying this is the technology they developed for Formula F1, and they're using 2 electric motors to aid forgot from top of my head, but it's also aiding the petrol engine when it's supposed to, you know, start, and it's just a good combination for fuel efficiency and relaxed, you know, city driving when you're driving electric. Okay, I'm going to go to my sense. I'm gonna go to the sport because we're gonna enter the highway here, or the motorway, and so I'm gonna just show you a little bit. Now over here you can, let me just show you here, you can change the brightness of the screen. You have the lane assists, heated steering wheel, and beam height. On the steering wheel you can change here the customization on the sides, so you can see like the navigation route, and similar you can see, yeah, a lot of stuff like consumption, radio, music, navigation, and so on. Now I'm going to leave it on the consumption so you can see the current consumption. Now as you can see also the lights change to red in the sport, and in the my sense, which is like your actually you can customize all of these, but in my sense it goes to, yeah, white. Now yeah, let's get on the highway. I'm gonna talk a little bit later about the interior and design and other stuff. Let me just switch gears so you can get full navigation on full display. I'm gonna be a little bit quiet so you can hear some engine noises and cabin soundproof. So we have LED headlights, quite good. I know the GoPro camera can justify, but it's quite decent. Have automatic long beam. Now there's some like rough tarmac and then like patches of like soft one, or like smoother one, excuse me. So I would say, because of the boxy shape and the car is taller, there is quite some cabin noise, even up to 130. It's a little bit noisy for my personal taste. Now if you push the turn single lever towards yourself, you have automatic long beam. If you push it towards the dash, it goes off. Actually, excuse me, it's on, so you have to have it towards yourself to have it on automatic. Let me speed up a little bit. Actually, throttle all the way. There's like turbo lag or on 120. Now adaptive cruise control on, speed sets, let's see, 130. Lane assist active. So the message stays for quite long and then it goes off. You can see power consumption current is 7 liters, and then lower over our speed here. It's overpass, so it's like 100 in 100, but we have a 10% tolerance. Now it's dropping around 6 liters. It's keeping around 7, I would say. Of course, you can change here. You can see music, radio stations. You can see like full map display, which is pretty cool if you don't want to focus on the one on your right hand side. And in my sense, you can change what you see in the bubble. But I don't want to I don't want to miss my exit. Happened to me once or twice. So the lane assist is okay. It doesn't bounce you like left and right inside the lane. It keeps you in the middle, which is something I like. But the car just, you know, speeds up easily combined. With 2 power setups. Okay, so let's talk about the interior details. Now, I really love the SUV shape. It's like a coupe design. It has a 5th door. It's very practical. Sorry, I'm just gonna get here because there's less potholes. This bridge is under construction. Actually, it's not under construction, but it's like fenced like this. It's waiting for repairs for over a year now. Anyways, back to the car. Again, excellent space in the back. It's a 5th door. I love liftbacks or hatchbacks, whatever you call them. I know this is not a hatch, but it's still, you have a 5th door. It's a very practical car. In the E-Tech, you get a smaller space because of the battery underneath. But I love the car. There is a lack of headspace for a tall person such as myself. I'm 2 meters tall, so there's a little bit lack of headspace, but it's a good space for your knees, and you know, it's comfortable if you're in the average height. On the front there's loads of space, even for me. I love the interior. I love the ambient lights in the front, which they were extending to the rear. Now I like the digital cockpit or the speedometer. It's colorful. You can choose a few setups. It's informative. It has enough information, but not too much for my taste. And it's like the rest of the Renault or, you know, fleet. Vertical screen on the side. Now, I do love the physical controls. So you can control here the AC very easily, and you know, you have your shortcuts here. You have your shortcuts on the top. It's very practical. Again, I love that the fact that you have the auto hold. Like Peugeot doesn't have that. I really don't know why are they thinking. Their automatics, they don't have that. The overview in the car is great. The back window is a little bit narrow, so you can see further behind you, but it's still okay. In front of the mirrors, it's a good overview. You know, the windshield is a little bit shorter and the side windows are shorter, but still it's a good overview. And when you're parking, it's manageable. I would use the big side mirrors. The backing camera resolution isn't a great the greatest. It should be sharper. I mean, in 2022, almost thought it was in 2021. 2022, you know, it's just, you know, it's a cheap electronics that could be added. So I really don't understand why is this a problem. There's no one here, so I guess I'll just, you know, give it a 0 to 100. All I think it's like in the like 10 seconds almost, or something like that. So, but you know, for the rest of you who are like super excited to see this, brake, throttle all the way, and let it go. Wow, that is super slow. I mean, I let go of the brake, but the brakes are okay. Well, I mean, this is not a super fast car, so, you know, keep your expectations realistic. But it's a good, you know, family car for relaxed driving and driving in style. To show you the headlights, I'm gonna turn here. So there's no street lights here. Normal beam, long beam. It's kind of raising up. It's decent. So this is the iPhone 13 Pro camera. It's the biggest sensor, so you can see a little bit better. And this is the long beam. Back on a short beam. So some of you might be wondering, navigation. Let's see if we can punch in here our location, and yeah, go. So some of you might be wondering, hey, I want to see it in the heads-up, excuse me, the virtual cockpit as well. Okay, there you go. So it appears it's, let me see here if I go to like, oh, actually I haven't pressed go. Let me just see here, go. And yes, okay, go. Just go. Okay. Yeah, you can see now the blue line both in the digital cockpit and the main screen on the right hand side. So that's cool. You can switch here for a few options, but just gonna keep it on classic. Now, what's also cool is when you're in the city, you can press the EV sign, and in that case you can drive electric, but it's currently unavailable, probably due to the fact that you're driving at a higher speed. Look at this, they still haven't updated the map. Some cars did, but not all. There's a roundabout here, but there's a new tunnel underneath it. You can see the camera is picking up some wrong speed limits, but then again, that's an issue with most cars. Okay, some, not all. And now you can also drive fully electric at lower speeds, and that's something that's pretty cool. So, you know, if you're in a low emission zone, you can just switch this on. But also, like, if you're in the neighborhoods, if you're an environmentally friendly person, you don't want to, you know, or make noises in your neighborhood, you know, if you're coming at late night. I keep forgetting that I'm not in recuperation mode.
Right after 100 meters.
And we're coming up to our garage here. I think the navigation kind of misunderstood me. So I think we can cancel our navigation here. Not sure how to cancel it. At least I don't see a big button for canceling. Now let's hear the electric only. You can hear now the electric sound. Let me just show you the reverse sound. It's the same. Okay, let me see where can I park the car. There might be some lights on the top. This looks like an okay spot. So it's pretty late, just 1 past midnight. So everything is off in the garage on power saving mode. Yeah, that's it. That was the point of view with full review. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, type them below. I haven't really mentioned any cons of this car. Well, let's see here. I think the door sound could have a little bit better when it's closing. There's like a small rattle sound. Not always, but sometimes. I guess it's because of the shape of the car. And the petrol engine is just a little bit noisy for my personal taste. But again, that's just my personal taste. You have a wireless phone charger here that I haven't really used. Yeah, okay, that's definitely one thing I have to comment. So it doesn't have, let me just show you here. So it doesn't have like a fixated place to stay. So it just goes, it has a rubber mat, but it goes like front and back when you speed up or like brake, and it just then stops charging. And for some of you who are interested, just to show you here, the Croatian audience, I'm not sure if this is like gonna be good on the camera, but this is the price and the full spec. To press the button, I keep forgetting because in the Tesla you just don't need that. I think it's off. Yeah, it's definitely off. Everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you like the review. If you do, feel free to subscribe to the channel. There's plenty of more cars. I love the front. Color is probably not my personal choice, but it's definitely for one of those who are bold and want to stand out. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna end it here. Stay safe. That's it. See you in the next one. Bye.